To this message. Hello, I'm Gus Michael Farinella, bankruptcy attorney here in New York.
Everybody want the full Saturday party.
Yo, welcome to the AMS show.
Tell everybody want the full Saturday party.
On Bars and Hoops Radio.
Tell everybody want the full Saturday party.
Yo, every Thursday night, without a doubt.
Tell everybody want the full Saturday party.
With our special guests, so check us out.
Third generation, the last one.
Yeah.
Peace, everybody. Welcome to the AMS show. I'm your host, Big Ra, and tonight, you know, I got one of the better street ball teams from back in the days, from some members of the team from back in the days, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. I got the legendary members of the legendary Brew Crew team. I know if you're about ball, you heard about the Brew Crew before, because I heard about them before I actually knew who they were. So we got the Brew Crew in the building. Yo, introduce yourselves, my brothers.
Start off, Corey Wright, third generation Brew Crew.
Yeah, Burnett Rumberg,
Okay.
probably second, third generation.
All right.
Lambert Shell, probably I was on a 10-day contract with the Brew Crew.
George Samuels, second, third generation.
Yeah, and I started playing with the Brew Crew in the 35 and over tournaments. And you know, it was funny how that happened. But before we get into all of that, I just want each one of y'all, like, if you could describe yourself in one word, like, what would that one word be?
Me first. Okay, I would say determined.
Okay.
I was always a undersized forward, and I had to play extremely hard just to compete against talented guys.
Yeah, and you know, like, if for y'all that don't know him, you know, I don't know if you was called that other places, but I know Shy always called you High C, right? High Shy, because and he lived up to that name, High C, because, you know, he should be jumping out the building.
I tried to.
Yeah, right. I saw you at Nassau Coliseum not too long ago. You know, you still jumping out the building.
Rumor has it I can do that.
All right, go ahead, Ice.
Yeah, well, they used to call me Ice.
Yeah.
Just kind of cool, laid back. Game was kind of smooth. Shoot the jumper. You know, real good friend of Jay.
Right.
Jay was like my brother.
And we gonna pay homage to my man Jay, because he was the coach of the Brew Crew, and you can't talk about the Brew Crew without talking about my man Jay. You know, they held the Brew Crew down. He gave me the history of the team before that. He wasn't actually the foundation of it, but from the time that I heard about the Brew Crew and that I started going up against them in the 80s, you know, it's always been Jay. All right, go ahead.
For me, I think the word would be like hardworking. And for the same reason. I think for the same reason,
right?
Like C. Banger just said. I mean, we undersized, you know, big dudes, so we had to go out here and compete and push guys around that wasn't really like that was bigger than us. So we had to go out and run and jump against big guys. So I'll say hardworking is a good word to describe me.
Okay, all right. And how about you?
Wow, word to describe me. I would say constant movement and defense.
Okay.
Those are kind of two of my strengths playing ball.
Okay.
Yo, man, he said one word.
He said one word. There you go. Freaking Met fans, yo.
That's right.
Met fan, yo. One word.
LFGM.
All right. Listen. Also in the building tonight is because they was giving generations of Brew Crew. So I don't know. We got my man Eric Hicks, Game Over fame, in the building tonight as well. And I know that he played with the Brew Crew back in the days. So I don't know, because they was giving generations like second, third. I'm like 35 and over Brew Crew. So I don't know. How. Yeah. So how far back you went playing with the Brew crew?
This one right here. Okay. Wow. All right. So first of all, Jay was like my best friend,
Right.
and Jay had a lot of, let's say, energy and yelling and screaming and all that. So I wouldn't play. I was like, we friends, man. If I play with you, I'm not gonna be friends. I mean, we're not gonna be friends. So let me just stay out of this mix. But then I think for 2 years he got me, and I remember playing in an Almighty Force.
Right.
I don't remember the year. We played in St. Clair's, and I was always just impressed with the talent, man. And it was like, you don't need me, man. You don't need me here. But I watched. Even when I wasn't playing, I watched, and I videotaped a lot too. So I got a lot of you guys on videotape, man. And he always was able to assemble talent, man. So I don't know what generation it was.
Right.
But I was glad to be a part of it.
Right.
That was third generation.
It was third generation because it was with you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Oh, okay. All right. So before we get into further talking about Jay, I just want everybody to give like their ball history, briefly. Eric, I know he was on here before, one of the first Legend episodes, but if you give your ball history, let's start with you, Hasi.
Start with me. Played at Jamaica High School. You might know my teammates, grew up around you, Wes, Colin Walker.
Okay, Wes. Yeah.
Sean Laurie.
Okay.
Then I went on to Queensboro. Heard you an alumni.
Yeah. I played at Queensboro.
I went to the national championship.
Yeah, we went to the region. we went to the regionals. We went to the regionals, but we ain't go. Yeah, we ain't go that far.
The national championship. Then I went to Queens College and I played with Norm Roberts.
Okay, all right. I know Norm. Norm. He played with me. The funny thing with Norm played with me, right? And Norm and Tom. They played with me in Lost Battalion. I'm going way back, right? They played with me in Lost Battalion, right? And that was the first time I played against the Brew crew.
Let me clarify. I didn't play with Norm.
Coach. Okay.
Norm was his coach.
Norm was the coach at Queens College.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know. Okay.
Coaching 20-year-olds.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize Norm coached.
Yeah.
And I know and Norm and when we're talking about Norm Roberts, we're talking about the guy that was coaching St. John's a few years ago. All right. Well, not, maybe like 10 years ago. Right. And so he was my point guard, before he met Jay. And then him and Tom, we met them in Montebello. Because me and Kevin, all of us used to just go different parks playing against people. And Norm was throwing alley-oops to Tom from like half court. So I got them to play with me. And then I went out to Brookville Park, probably a couple of summers later. I saw they was playing with Jay. You know what I'm saying? So I know, and they played with Jay for like a few years. All right.
Brookville
Park. Okay.
Above the rim.
Huh?
Above the rim.
No.
That was the name of the tournament. Above the rim.
That was in Brookville.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I ain't have no good days in there. So matter of fact, we got ambushed by the Brew crew a couple of times. I ain't have good days in Brookville. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, Ice.
Yeah, but I played at like Bryan High School.
Okay, Bryant.
I started out at Far Rockaway High School because I grew up in Far Rockaway. I was a baseball player. I didn't really care for basketball too much. So once I got to Bryant, I started playing basketball. Then I went on to Queensboro, like after you.
Okay.
So we came in after you. We were like 22-4 that year.
Yeah.
So I think we went regionals or whatever.
Right.
Second year, I got sick at the end of the year, so I didn't really play for a couple of years until we started playing in the circuit around the city, different places, playing out on the beach at Reese Beach.
Yeah, Reese Beach. That was the
Iron Man
one. The Iron Man tournament.
No, they had a Reese Beach. There was a Reese Beach tournament. My man Mike McGligan ran.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
So we used to be out on the beach.
Yo, the jacket I got over there, we won with Mike. We won with Mike in Staten Island tournament.
Oh yeah, that's
all right. Let me just give a shout out. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Tisha. Ate a lot. Yo, if y'all not doing nothing on Sunday nights, tune in to Bars and Hoops. My man Tiny, he be hosting the show. It's called the T-shirt Ate a Lot Red Cup Affair. They be talking. Listen. It'd be a battle of the males versus the females to see who could pick the songs, who can guess who picked what song. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Y'all gotta check it out. I'll give y'all the details of it. So, okay. Shout out to Kev. You know, he can make it. You know, he can make it tonight. Shout out to Big Shy. Shout out to all the Bars and Hoops family. Shout out to the AMF family. Shout out to my man Big Al Mosley. We're gonna have TNP up in the building next week. All right, we got TNP Part 2 up in the building. All right, because when we did TNP Part 1, you know, it wasn't enough time. I mean, you know, it wasn't enough time.
You bringing TNP back, you might have to bring Cream All Stars up in there.
Okay, listen,
that was lovely battles, baby.
Listen. You know, we can talk about that. And then I got your math.
231.
Yeah. So go ahead. I'm Big Lamb.
Oh, I'm unlike some of these. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So I'm a little, East New York actually. I went to August Martin High School. I went to Bridgeport, so I could tell people who knew me from Queens and Brooklyn by people from Queens would call me Shell, people from Brooklyn would call me Lamb. So, but I went on to Bridgeport. Scored a lot of points there. Played ball overseas and. Played in a lot of tournaments locally. We won a lot, actually. Cream All-Stars, ran into Jay many times with the other team that I was playing with. So had a lot of fun. But he had two of my teammates from Bridgeport, Big Shaw, and he had Big Winston Jones playing on that team also. So it was some good battles back then. And I remember watching the Brew crew, and this was Howie. The first time I ever put my eyes on Howie Hudson was 89 in Brookville. They moved them to the big court because there's two courts in Brookville that go sideways. And there's a big court. And I never forget how he taking off on this dude. And I remember Brook would just have big dudes playing guard. You're like a pro team. Yeah. You're like a pro team. So I just remember all that back in the days.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, George.
That's all, Lamb. Come on, man. You didn't tell me your numbers hanging in the jerseys. You don't get jerseys hanging in the rafters.
I do all that.
Modest, Dr. Shell.
Very modest.
Go ahead. I do all that. All right, man. We're gonna come back to you because you're doing other great things. You're doing other great things with the young people.
Yeah.
Right. So while we on it, let's just do that now. Let's talk about like what you're doing now.
Well, I mean, I've been coaching at Kingsborough Community College for the last 11 years. Me and one of our fellow Brew crew member, Kurt. We doing
Kirk
it.
Laidlaw.
Kurt
Shout
Laidlaw.
out to Kurt. Shout out to Kurt Laidlaw.
So we get a lot of kids in school, man. Do a lot of good things, a lot of positive things, and just trying to help young men understand basketball in this new age where guys are running for 3-point shots and doing other things. Me and Kurt are kind of old school. They kind of respect us for that, and they kind of love us for that. We give them the business, but if you got any kids who are looking for a nice environment to learn basketball, who have a chance to go to the next level, we definitely take them on.
And I heard the rules changed with junior college.
They're in a process of changing that. That. So the rule now would be there was a kid that sued the NCAA that said that JUCO college would be classified as its own school. So you can go 2 years of JUCO and still go NCAA and still have 4 years. So once that rule is ratified, it'd be great for a lot of young people to come and learn the college game and get a college competition and still be able to go to a 4-year school and play 4 years of basketball. So if that change, it'd be very helpful.
Because and I'm gonna come back to you, George. Me and Eric, we was talking the other day about the age of some of the college players now. So if the rule, and I thought it was like a done deal.
Nah.
But if the rule if it happens, that'd be great. That'll give guys like you said a chance to form a league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not just their skills, but their bodies.
Right. And they're also going back to an old rule. You have 5 years to do 4. And your money's guaranteed now. But like now, the rule is you're only good for 1 year, and then you leave. Now, if they're going back to once you get the scholarship, you're good for 4 years. You get for 5 years to make 4. So you got in college sports, you have 10 semesters to compete. That's what it is, 10 semesters to compete. So a lot of young people now, guys, I get the kids who, went to school, probably had a baby, had to work, had to do something else, had to do something different. After 3 or 4 years, they want to come back. I get a lot of those kind of kids, and they come back and they work hard and they play good. Whether there's a next level for them or not, It all depends, but a lot of my kids go to a lot of Division 3 schools. Had a few kids go Division 2, but it's a good opportunity to play some good basketball and still have a passion for it. You know, and I love doing it, man. I love doing it. It's fun.
That's great because Kingsborough they was in that Metro that Metro division with Queensborough who we played for in that Metro division. So how's the team, man?
There's no more CUNY. CUNY's done.
Oh, okay.
There's no more CUNY. Yeah, they got rid of CUNY.
Oh, wow.
CUNY's done. It's they still call it CUNY, but the JUCO teams are called something totally different. So we do our own tournaments. This year we made it to the semifinals. Didn't quite go to the national championship like Corey, but hopefully next year we'd be able to get to the national championship. You know, with a few good players.
Yeah, you left that out, man. You said you played for Queensborough.
Well,
you didn't say
that out.
You didn't. You said the national champions.
You go to the national championship,
Yeah,
that's where I want to leave it. We went to the national championship.
They ain't win no games. They ain't win no games. They went there. They got there. It's been a couple of days.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
You can research that.
All right. Shout out to Town Mama. Shout out to Town Mama checking in. You know. And you know, Eric, you know, for the people that missed the show, like that you were on. You give your brief history.
Real
but we didn't get your
Yeah,
history, George.
Yeah, my brief history is easy. Just went to York College, played all in the streets with other cats that are legends throughout the city.
Yeah,
played with these guys right here.
Yeah, and we had somebody on, a kid from Far Rock on, Neil Anthony Edwards. We had him on. He played for York College, and he played for York College, and he got to the league. He ended up playing for the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? He was playing on the team with Lamar.
Oh, okay.
You know, he was playing, so he made it. You know, he made it to the league, and you don't really hear that coming from D3. So, like when you were saying, like some kids that play D3, you never know what it could lead to.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because when I met that brother, you were like. You know, I thought he was gonna say something different, but he told me he played for York. I was like, wow, you go from York to the NBA, you know, and then playing overseas and all of that. That's great. That's great. Man.
Most of the guys I've basically played ball with, you know, most of them played overseas. This man here, True Carter, you know, the Puerto Rican legend right there.
Yeah, True Carter. Shout out to True Carter. Shout out to BJ.
You know, Wes Carrera. You know, when Wes played with us.
Yeah, Wes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, Wes. Yeah. Wes was nice. Wes was nice.
Wes was nice.
Wes was nice.
Beyond nice.
Love that jump shot. Love
Wes was beyond nice. So he gave the US team 30 or 40. He gave Mike and him like 30, 40. So Wes was doing his thing back then.
I enjoy setting picks with Wes. It just freed him up so he could catch it and shoot. Same thing we do for True.
Yeah, Wes. Yeah, I remember Wes. You know. So Eric, you know, before we get into the stories, because I asked everybody to do a story
edition, but
okay,
I'm from the Bronx, right?
All
and I went to Truman High School, and I played not a second at Truman High School. Went to a university I had never heard of, except they had won the NIT the year before, which was St. Bonaventure University. Now, I played in the streets of the Bronx, you know, in the tournaments and things. Me going up there, I didn't know Division I from Division II, Division III. I had no idea. And the next thing you know, I get there with the freshmen, and you know, they kind of like, is he a recruit? Is he a recruit? He can play. He can play. So the first year, they made me play JV, and then I did my thing. And there's a whole story behind that. And the next thing you know, I earned a full scholarship at St. Bonaventure University, and it was quite a journey, quite a trip, quite a trip.
The St. Bonaventure, are they in the tournament this year?
They was in the NIT again this year. They didn't make the NCAA this year. They
didn't make it.
And, you know, well, there's a whole thing with the majors now and money and things like that with the NIL. So it's tough.
Okay. And so what do you think of that, right? What do you think of the NIL, the whole?
I mean, until they regulate it, I mean, I think eventually it's going to be Division I basketball, Division III. I think Division II is going to go away because the money's so prevalent. But the guys' opportunity to make money, man, and do the same thing these coaches are doing, I have no problem with that, man. You know, I just hope it's pay for play now. I think they should change the rules because it just the amount of money that's given out to these guys is tremendous. But in the sense that, you know, college coaches are getting the same way. The NCAA is making so much money. You know, right now, I think the NCAA should just run the tournament. That's it. Let the colleges do whatever they want to do and just run the tournament. They make $1 billion just doing that. So I think that, as long as the guys keep playing, and I hope they're playing for playing and not playing for the money. That's the only thing that you get into, like the pros right now. It seems like the pros just playing for the money, they're not playing for the love. Yeah. So I think that's the only thing that you have to kind of levy between one or two.
Right, and because until the playoffs start in the NBA, right. you don't see them going hard.
Not at all.
But you could watch any college game. You can watch any college game and they be playing hard as hell.
Absolutely.
Women and men.
Absolutely.
They be playing hard as hell. And I'd be like, wow, that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing today. Cause I'm retired and stuff. So that's what I was doing today, watching the tournament. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna watch St. John's tonight.
Look at them. Last year they went from not doing well to the guy that came in from Vitamin Water saying, "Yo, Patino, whatever you want, I got you."
Let's just cross our fingers that Patino did it the right way.
No,
Patino sometimes things follow him.
Yeah, but ain't no right way no more because everybody gets money.
True.
Back in the days, guys got bags under the table. Ain't no bags on the table. They telling you come to me, 7 million, 1 million, 2 million, 3. The guy that's going to bring him young. The high school player is going to bring him young. They got like 7 million to go there, man. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy.
I didn't know it was that big. I think it was like Angel Reese or one of them ladies like that were they
like $2 million bucks, man.
Yeah, before they even went to the WNBA. That was like a pay cut going, but they still getting that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They still getting those endorsements.
I think it was something that MJ said on Oprah a long time ago. He said when him and Barkley and all them came into the league, they wasn't making that kind of money because you was based on what you did. Now you're going getting paid for your potential. So now there's not that much hard work with some of these kids because they know that NIL money might be coming.
About that, but
I'm just saying, some of them getting that NIL money and like, well, I'm getting paid.
Everybody's getting it.
Everybody's getting it.
I think they should get paid, man. And I'm like, make that money for all of those years. Them coaches is like football coaches with 3 mansions and players who can't even get their parents to games and stuff. Like, get paid, man. And if it's a little lopsided in the beginning, it'll figure itself out. But we can't, and that money, just getting a little deeper with it, gets an opportunity to come back into our community. So they come back with $1 million in their pocket and they're getting haircuts in the community and buying Chinese food and cars at the local dealerships. That money that the other kids are getting, the rich kids they never coming back.
That's funny that you say that because Juju Watkins is doing the same thing with the money that she's getting. She's donating that money into the community because a lot of people don't know she's from Watts. And her grandfather and her great-grandfather started some stuff in Watts back in the day. And she always gives back to the community. That's why she went to SC.
And people say, the young kids are going to mess up the money. Okay, well, mess it up in our community where it can trickle down to us, and then maybe we can get it, and we won't mess it up.
Absolutely.
But the other way, we don't have a shot at it.
But pro guys was messing up money.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you know what? But I'm sure owners mess up money too. Yeah. But they have the ability to recover from that. Whereas in our community, we can't recover from messing up money. But at least if you're gonna mess it up here in Jamaica, Queens, and mess it up in Harlem, mess it up in the Bronx, so somebody can get a hold of it. Because we don't get any of them coaches that's making millions of dollars. It don't come to the hood, but they take all our kids out of here.
Yeah,
do it before they change the rule, man. They got some things that are coming out about buyouts and all that kind of stuff too right now. So do it before they change these rules because one of the rules they think about is if a kid gets money from a certain school in order to leave and go to another school, you have to buy yourself out. So get it. I mean, they're not gonna let them keep eating like that for too long.
Right.
Because it's too much, like you said. I mean, some of these kids. I mean, even the kid on the 12th man on the bench and the college is getting 30, 40, 50 grand.
Yeah,
just to be there. And, for the little bit of things you have to do, you have to go do some appearances, stuff like that. But you're a bench player, you're not getting no playing time. Somebody giving you $50K to just sit there.
Yeah.
Taking care of your moms, like you say, take care of your moms at home. You may be able to, after 2 or 3, you may be able to put up in a house, buy a house, get out of a situation where. So, I mean, it benefits a lot of these kids. And hopefully they get the financial training to understand what to do with it.
So, Lamb, let me ask a question, being your coach. Do you think there'll be like a cap because of the sports and these, the kids getting paid? Because you get some kids getting paid that, like, say, for instance, a starting guard may get $500,000, where in football, the starting quarterback might be getting $1 million.
Hey,
do you think there'll be a balance in where each school can only have so much money for NIL.
And that's what they're going to do. They're going to cap it. So that's what I'm saying. They have to do all this stuff now before they put the rules in that's not going to be favorable for the kids.
Yeah.
They want to put a cap in. They want to put a buyout clause, and they want to put all these different things in it. So these young kids that are getting it now, man, they've been getting it and hopefully doing the right thing with it.
You know how our generation was. You get money. That's it. You done.
Yeah.
You're a professional.
All right. Shout out to John Perry. Shout out to Sharon. You know, appreciate y'all checking in. All right. So Eric, before we and then we're gonna come back this way and we're gonna do about the stories with Jay. Yeah, but I saw you on TV or something like not too long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing some interviews.
Yeah.
So just talk about
what I do.
Let's talk about Game Over.
32 years ago, man, I started a company called Game Over. And it was kind of address some of the inequities in sports that we are talking about right now. You know, you graduate from college, you put all this time into basketball, but then try to get a job in basketball or in sports or whatever, especially back then. When I used to go to these places, I didn't see nobody that looked like me, man. And I didn't, for a sport that we dominate, we didn't make sneakers. We don't design basketball arenas or courts. We don't make uniforms. We don't get those contracts to do anything. It's the big companies that get it. And the people that build the game and carry the game, we don't get none of that. So for me, the game was over. My goal was to be the Black Nike. That was my dream. That was my thing. But the backup plan was some little kid would see somebody like me that looks like them, and you'll take it and be the next Nike. But it has to start somewhere. And then when it came to the street ball thing, and that's how I got started, by supplying the street ball tournaments with uniforms when they were doing T-shirts and lower prices. And I watched all of the teams basically, or all of the leagues basically, at the end of every summer start begging the same 3 sneaker companies for this. And if they like you, you get it. If they have someplace else to put the money, now you stuck. So I tried to get everybody to come together and say, if we're going to go to Nike, why don't all of y'all go to Nike as a group? And they do, all right, well, come to me. And if I can help you, I'm going to help you. And just basically, that's how Game Over got started. It was the last thing you heard on the court when you hit that winning shot was Game Over. And then the things that were going on in the business sector of sports, where somebody who loves a sport can't stay in it because there's no room for him other than on the field or on the court, that game is over. We need to get in there and find a way where you can stay in the game or in the world that you love and get paid. So I'm all for everybody getting paid and doing their thing, from the grassroots coaches to the players, this, that, and the other, because they making billions off us. Billions, man.
I went to see the Almighty Force 7th and 8th grade teams play over in Springfield High School a couple of weeks ago. I walk in there. I saw the Game Over trophies up in there, the Game Over merchandise up in there, and then and in the neighborhood that was like a great thing, Almighty Force was a lot of other programs in there. Game Over was in there. It was a great thing. It was a great thing to see. Because basically that was what you're talking about. That was us.
And I appreciate that. Just really quick on the trophy. 25 years ago, we decided to put a black man on a basketball trophy. Why is that revolutionary? There should have at least been an option. But we dominate the sport, and all you guys, you look at your trophies, you got the guy with the short shorts and the wavy hair. We put a black dude that looked like Corey. Diesel dude with the ball in one hand, the rim in the other, walking off. And Game Over. And it was important for kids to see things like that, visualize it. And I can go into a whole thing.
And some people got mad because I was getting a lot of trophies back then, buying, running Almighty Force basketball. I was getting a lot of trophies. I was asking them, there's a lot of them fronting saying that they didn't have.
Oh, well,
you know what I'm saying?
One store told me he was carrying them.
And when I went to get them,
that I left the store, he went and put them in the garbage.
When I went to get them, they wasn't there.
They were threatened, man.
And then they got mad because I went somewhere else. All right.
Wow.
So like I said when we started, we can't talk about the Brew Crew without talking about about the brother Jay that coached the Brew Crew for years. And like from the outside looking in, right? I saw, this little mousy looking dude, right? That and I was going like, yo, how is he getting these dudes? When the first Brew Crew team I saw, it was a team with Howie Hudson and Don and all of them. And I think Kirk was probably on that team. We played against them in the Lost Battalion, caught them out there like the first time. But then I think when they came to the playoffs, I think they might have beat us, which made me, respect the coach because you came different.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you came different, like you peeped how we beat you.
Right.
Because I had guys that just came out of college.
Right.
So we was like pressing the hell out of everybody. We was like we had beaten known guys from Brooklyn, like Kurt Sunday. We had beaten the hell out of all these dudes. Like not even the ones that gave us a hard time was like, Wayne Freeman and World Be Free and them. Like when they came, because they played smarter.
Right.
But guys who played, like one man, one guy's the man, them type of teams, like, but they couldn't beat us. But when I met Jay and them, I said, oh, okay. So I said, all right, because a lot of people think that people that coach street basketball, you just got to get a better team. But, sometimes you got to have some kind of strategy.
He knew the game.
You got to have some kind of strategy.
And he was a great administrator because you know what it's like trying to get guys together and everybody paid their money and this, that, and the other. I so respected him for that and dealing with all of that. And he was a great administrator and a great organizer. And the inside thing with me and Jay, I used to say, Jay, man, you need to go get another job, a different job. Because the skill set that you display when you're organizing your team and you got everybody together and everybody respected him. He could yell and scream at the biggest dude, the littlest dude, and they respected him, man. And, I said, you should be with a Fortune 500 company, know what I'm saying, managing people.
Yeah,
because you got those skills, except the temper. He had a crazy.
But when I was with him in Staten Island, I ain't gonna say who the guy was, but there was a big dude that he was from Brooklyn, he used to play for VLS, and we was playing, and we was playing in Staten Island, and Jay subbed him, right? And now I'm new to playing with him,
right?
Jay subbed him, and then he got the dude got mad. You're like, saying, he's like, he say some slick shit. And Jay was like, yo, he was like, yo, man. Jay was like, yo, don't be fucking talking to me. And I was like, damn, Jay, chill. I'm like, this motherfucker like 6'6".
They don't care.
You like, and then he said, then the guy said, yeah, Rob, don't tell him to chill. He's just lucky that his son is here. And then Jay said, "When it act like he ain't here." I was like, all right. I saw him in a whole different light after that. I was like, oh, all right. But I don't know. Go ahead, Corey. Like, if you get
administrator, no doubt. I met Jay when I was like 12 or 13. Because at that age, I couldn't play with my age group no more. So I moved up to the big court with the grown folks. By the time I was like 14, 15, playing with Jay and Howie, 176 Park, Jay was like, you're going to play for me soon.
Okay.
So fast forward, wrap it up, Almighty Force, Kev Young, shout out to Kev, legend, and Jay. I started playing with Jay, and we in Gershwin. I think it might have been Mike McGregor's tournament. And the young guys always get to the game early because Jay got like a roster of like 18 people. So we there early. Game starts. There's like 6 of us. Competitive game. I probably had like 12, 14 points in the first quarter. Then Kev Young comes. Kev subs me out. Started second quarter. The game goes 3 overtimes. I don't get back in the game. That's when I kind of like knew my position and my status. Like, okay, so when Kev comes, I need to sit right here and be a fan. So shout out to Kev, but
shout out Kev.
Kev did that to a lot of people. So
before we let that go, I got to make sure that I salute Almighty Force, give them their flowers, because every Saturday, Sunday, they keep hundreds of people, hundreds of young men, young boys off the streets and give them something to do. And this is going back 90s at least, right?
Yeah, we started
And,
in the early 90s.
Having an impact on all those young men, young boys, and giving them something to do when they could be doing something else is definitely a salute to y'all, and y'all superheroes for that.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. And I give a shout to my son because he kept it going. And a lot of the guys that are coaching, with him now, that's doing the D League with him. There was guys that came up through the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So that was
Corey, that MPV got a lot of mileage on it, huh?
Remember that?
Of course.
Remember the MPV?
The MPVs, brother.
Remember the MPV? We was going to Jersey and everywhere in those days, man. So thanks, Corey. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Go ahead.
What is Jay's full name and what's his status?
What you mean the status?
Like, what was he known as? Because there's people watching that really don't know who Jay is.
Oh, all right, now, but that's why we talking about him.
Right.
That's why we talking about him.
Okay.
Like, what's his full name? And then
Arrington,
CJ Arrington,
yeah,
right?
Jay Arrington.
Jay Arrington.
Yeah.
Really was CJ, right? I think he had the C is also
Crawl.
right.
Well,
He
right.
also-
That's
He
right.
gonna
He
get
had
mad
a-
at
he
you
had
and
the
come out and
tattoo.
agree because say what his first name was.
'Cause he would never tell.
He never tell nobody what his first
That's
name
right. He
was.
never told nobody his first
Jay?
name. No,
Nah,
his first name wasn't
and he
Jay.
don't want nobody to know what
He
his
didn't want
first name
nobody
was.
to know what his first name was.
But we all knew him as Jay,
right.
That's
right? We all knew him as Jay Harrington, right?
Yeah.
And he was a street ball coach, and he not just a street ball coach. He got gyms.
Yeah.
We was he used to get gyms. Say, yo, I got this gym. We used to go to 231. Remember that? We used to go to 231. We used to go over there off Horace Harden.
Yeah, 188.
Yeah. So
188.
so he not only was coaching, he was involved, getting making sure people got their rec.
And he brought people together.
Yeah.
Because
I'm still friends with guys that I met through
right,
Jay.
exactly. We all met.
We went to dinner. We went to dinner
Yeah.
around Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
We all met through Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connected us all. That's
And
how
I'm saying that I didn't because Jay was going, he was telling me about you when you get into your story, and then I was and then everybody that you knew, I knew.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But we connected just playing ball. Just
all of us connected playing ball.
Just going to the gym and stuff. So go ahead, Ice.
Yeah, Jay had to be the most competitive guy I've ever known. Hated losing.
Yeah.
When the Brew crew would play, who would they used to play all the time? Pete Edwards and them team. What was the name of that team?
Prime time.
Huh?
Prime time.
Prime time. Yeah. Every time they would play prime time, I call them up. Did y'all win? Every time they would lose, and he would be mad. He'd be mad till they play the next game and get a win. Then he'd be back to the old Jay again.
Yeah. Somebody said, yo, what's up? And then, so that's somebody that got beat. Whoever is the legend 135 is somebody that got beat by the Brew crew.
See it on the board.
You see it? Yo. There's a certain thing called class. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he would be mad. He wouldn't speak till he played his next game and got a win. But he was also like Eric said, he was also a great organizer. Every summer, I don't know, middle end of the summer, he would throw this big picnic. And all the fellas, whether you played against them, you played with them, he'd invite everybody. Everybody would come out. We have a good time. And he was just that type of dude. He'd get everybody together. Yeah. He had the biggest heart you'd ever want to see. But he lose, forget it.
I don't know why I'm thinking the legend 135 is Kev. We grew up on 135th Street.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Yeah. All right.
That is Kev.
Oh, yeah, Kev.
It's gotta be Kev. That is Kev.
He can't talk because he went to the dentist.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he can type though, huh?
Yeah, you know why
He
it's
was
kept? You
laughing
know why it's
my ass
kept?
off.
Shout out,
Let me tell you why it's kept. Let me tell you why it's kept. He said he played for prime time. He gave that away. That's kept.
He said somebody that was beating the Brew Crew.
That's kept. He gave it away.
Yo, what up, Kev?
He gave it away.
All right, go ahead, Lam. Go ahead.
I mean, I was, like I said, I was a 10-day player. I played for Jay just one time, but just remember him just being like a good dude and just remembering all the teams that he got together. Like some of the biggest Param dudes that was around that I've seen a guy get together, play together, and guys just like playing with each other. I just remember playing with them and playing with Howie and Don Chung. And I think I played with him in whatever tournament it was. And I think for me, that was my last tournament because I had never seen two guys that, you took the ball out of bounds. You had to just drop it and hopefully somebody picked it up. But Jay always had some of the best. At that time, he had some of the best basketball players probably in the city next to it. It was either probably prime time and then Brew Crew probably after that. But they won a lot and competed a lot. But Jay was always one of them, called me all the time, always wanted me to play. And I'm like, Jay, you got my man Big Shy on your team. You got C Bang on your team. You got Winston on your team. There's no wins for me. I mean, you guys got all the dudes that I played with and played against, so I'm not gonna have no time over there. Let me just do my thing over here. But when I did play with them, it was fun. It was fun. When I did not play with them, it was fun. But I'm like, you got my dudes on your team. I can't compete. I can't go out and compete with them dudes, man, or take their time because they are some of the original dudes that when Jay pulled those guys, original guys that played with the Brew Crew, man. So I had a lot of respect for him for what he did for guys back in the days, man.
Appreciate that. You want to go, George?
Man, for me, it goes back. I mean, I met Jay at Centennial Park when they used to play over there. They had a tournament in Centennial, and throughout the years,
I'm going way back.
Yeah.
When Howie came, he was talking about Centennial, and that was before he started playing with the Brew Crew.
Yeah, that's how I bet. I seen, like you said, you look at Jay like, who is this guy? And things of that nature. And then above the rim, because I think I played with y'all, I used to run from Bridgeport Cats because two of my best friends at the time, we all grew up together, went to York together, we all played together. And then when you had your tournaments, I would play with them, and it's got to guard Silk, guard Mike Phillips, guard Smooth, guard Big Cliff.
Yeah,
God, Big Rob.
Mike Phillips.
Man, he rest in peace. Big Rob.
Big Rob.
Big Rob. Yeah, rest in peace. Big Rob.
I think what got me with the
Don't forget Big George.
Big George.
Big George too, right?
Yeah,
big
rest in
knowledge.
peace.
I
Big
grew
knowledge. Big knowledge.
up with knowledge.
Yeah,
knowledge.
We all grew up together playing Little League Baseball.
Yeah.
But the thing I think when Jake, Jay, Smooth, Mike Hammond, and Mike Phillips came to me was it was one game guarding all of them, and I drew 2 hard fouls on Big Rob and got him teched out the game. Because I always told Rob, if you hit me, I'm going down. I mean, you look at me, you look at Big Rob. I told Rob, you turn around and hit me, I'm going down. Jay came to me, he goes, I like how you did that. You took this man out the game. He said, you play defense. I said, I got to use my brain sometimes too, because
you ain't using your brain letting Rob hit you. Big Sexy hit you ain't using your brain. The Big Sexy hit you.
They call Rob Big Sexy.
Big Sexy. You ain't using your brain. You telling him to hit you.
Once Big Sexy gave me that elbow, I was like, oh, I'm going
You telling Big Sexy to hit you. You ain't smart.
I had to do the LeBron flop. You know what I'm saying? I had to flop and get him out the game.
Can't say Corey was a problem. He said Howie and Lamb was a problem. All right. All right. Yeah. So
and then as we played in Jersey and all the other late tournaments that we would play, I come from work and what was it, 50? Right. Pick me up at my garage and we go out there in the MPV.
Yeah, MPV.
Then when we took 15 Park, I'm thinking like Silk, Jamaican Mike. I can't think of his last name. Mike Brown, right? Mike Brown.
Shout out to
Mike Brown.
Shout
Sugar,
out to Mike Brown.
Yeah, right. 176, like you guys.
Shout out to Mike
Shout out to Smooth, Mike Ham, Mike Phillips.
Yeah. Mo. We ain't gonna get Mo, right?
Yeah, Kurt Joseph.
Kurt
Joseph. Yeah, Happy. Yeah, Happy had to work. Happy couldn't make it tonight. Happy had to work.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Silk, it was like the battles of God and Silk, and Silk was like, you can't do it all by yourself, bro. You need some help. And that's when they said, you might as well just join with us because When he started that press, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I like.
Yeah, that's I was a little surprised when I saw that. Right, we were playing like 35 and over in the summer.
Yeah,
you know, and he was like, "Yo, let's jump into 2-2-1." You know,
you had that look like, man, this is 85 degrees. I said, yeah, but what would I say?
And it was that we only had like 8 people.
And what would I say? They got to deal with the heat too.
Yeah, true.
We'll see who's in shape.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Eric. Nah, I was just gonna say, when I think of the legacy of guards that he had, man, I was going to mention Mike Phillips, and then in a couple of years he had Boo Harvey.
Okay.
And I mean, and then there was AJ Winder. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, shout out to AJ.
Dude, man.
AJ, yeah.
And just to be in that list of point guard on the Brew group.
Yeah, he had Mark. Mark Williams.
Right.
I think Speedy played.
I got the footage of them games too. When Speedy was playing,
especially in Buzzers tournament.
So just back to Jay's, just on the lighter side, his temper. I knew how to trigger him. So people would say when we were playing on Saturday mornings, "You gonna do it today? You gonna do it today?" I said, "Nah, I'm gonna give him a break." You gonna do it today? So we would go to breakfast after we played at 188th Street, and out of the middle of nowhere, I'd be like, "Yo, Jay, man, Lenny was busting your ass." God, why would I do that? The breakfast was over, and I was just playing. But I knew, and he went for it every week. Yeah. They go, "You want to get him today? You want to get him today?" Yeah. Oh, Boogie was killing you today, man.
I told Corby, and I was telling them, and I said I wasn't gonna say it, but one time, I think we played like a Thursday, and Jay here, I ain't get a lot of run because I played a lot,
right? But
when everybody came, I ain't,
right.
But I was like, helping coach or whatever,
right?
So I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Because something like when he couldn't make it, I coached the Brew Crew for a lot of years when he couldn't make it. And we had the whole crew there, and we were playing somewhere. It might have been like Staten Island or something. And I ain't play that much. I probably didn't play until like the end of the game. And then we went to play Saturday morning, right? And I was telling her that I looked at Jay like a guard,
right.
But he got on me when there was other people who I felt, So I kept telling him, "Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball," and I'm like going hard. And then when I got home, the phone rang around 2:00. It was Jay on the phone. He said, "Yo, Raheem, man, what was all that this morning?" I'm like, "Yo, Jay, man, what you talking about, man?" He was like, "Yo, man, it seemed like you was like going like extra hard, man. Why? Because I ain't give you no run the other night." And I'm like, "Yo, bro, I'm like, no, because you a guard. I'm a forward." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Listen," but that was my dog, and I ain't he didn't really know I played. The first time I played with him, I went over Glenn McMillan. Shout out to Glenn McMillan, D Hall, and all of them. I went over to ISC when I first turned 35. And the person told me to go. Glenn said, "Oh, you on this team?" And I looked over there, and it was Jay. I was like, "Yo, I don't know if I want to play with the Brew Crew." You know what I'm saying? But I went over there. I got dressed. He put me in the game. I probably scored like 12 points, like real fast. Came back to the side. He was like, "Yo, Rob, man, I didn't even know you could play."
You ever heard of a guy named Claudius?
Claudius.
Claudius.
One hand Claudius.
One hand Claudius. Yeah.
One hand Claudius.
One hand.
Dunking on everybody.
Yeah, man. This
did he take a team to Germany? Did he take a Brew Crew team to Germany?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He took a team to Germany. Took a team to Germany.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot they went to Germany.
And they won. Winston was on that. Winston Jones was on that team. Yeah, he took a team to Germany.
I know. Me and George went to Jersey with him. And we were the only team from New York. And then guys like Cliff trying to get us killed with his big ass mouth. You know what I'm saying? Cliff talking.
Only thing that helped us out was what's the name? The referee was from Queens too. I can't remember his name.
They hated that because you got to realize where you're at, man. We're playing in Newark, man. You don't read the news. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Don't mess around with them. And then the crazy thing is they try to live up to the name the Brew Crew too much. Because they talk about we won the championship. They talk about where the cool is at. I'm like, "Yo, man, we need to get these. We behind a damn school.
Right.
We behind a damn school in Newark.
It's time to go.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. My bad.
And especially with games like on Sundays too, it's time to go.
Yeah. But you know, we you know, the time go fast. You know, we do when we do this, especially when it's fun. You know what I'm saying? But
So
before
even Kev said Claudius was a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see you, Kev.
So when we you know, we like to ask for words of encouragement for like anybody that's watching out there. So if we can have like each one of y'all just give a word of encouragement. We got like 10 minutes left, man. You know.
Start with the coach, man.
Yeah, let's start.
I mean, words of encouragement. I mean, keep striving and doing what you're doing. I mean, times right now are more difficult than ever based on whatever side of the politics you are, man. But don't get sucked into all of the stories, man. I mean, keep working hard, keep trying hard, keep helping people. I mean, that's one of the things I think that, you know, we as men either have to reclaim ourselves in that. And I say this in a way that with coaching young boys, sometimes I think the society wants to take away that masculinity of men being men again. And I think until, you know, young black boys or men can be men again, when you're opening the door for women, you're doing the things that a man's supposed to do. I think that it'll bring back a lot of the essence of what community is all about. And I think, you know, the more young people, I mean, I continue to work with. I also work in the public library as well, and just provide some kind of guidance. I mean, I don't know everything, but I think if we can tell our stories based on who we are, and I think what I like about, and I think more people watch 50 and over than ever before. I think 50 and over is more entertaining than unlimited basketball right now, pro-am basketball they call it, because the history we have with each other says a lot about who we are. I mean, we competed with each other. We didn't like each other, but we competed with each other. But now we have a story that we can tell that's more enjoyable than these dudes that are probably on social media liking each other every day. And I think that's the part that I like about sitting around listening to these stories around, whether it be Jay or whether it be playing against Kev or playing against Corey or playing against George, anyone else, man. It's just that the stories that we have and the competitions we had, you know, where back then we were bumping heads. Man. But now it's like it was all love. And I think more kids need to hear these stories and hear these platforms that you guys are doing, man. I think it's absolutely great to have platforms like this to tell these stories.
Yeah, thanks, man. Okay, yeah, Corey, you wanna
let the businessman go first?
Okay, yeah, Eric, yeah.
The one thing that I always and I emphasize in the last half of my business career is for us as men who have the ear of these kids as coaches, because for some of these kids, the black man who's a coach, he's everything. Every word that comes out of your mouth is so powerful and has the ability to change a kid's life. So be careful what you say, and also use this game to train them for life. Right. The situation, as Lamb was saying, politically, we're not going to basketball or football our way out of this mess, but we're going to be able to use our minds. And some of the strategies that we teach kids in sports are the same strategies that you use to be successful and then navigate through certain things and to be able to get up from your losses and to learn from your losses and keep going. I learned all of that through sports. And I think if we emphasize that, and the coaches have to really understand, it's about basketball for that minute, but it's really bigger than that. And when you have these kids' minds the way that we do, you gotta be very careful and make sure that they understand that.
Right. Okay. And I like what you do, because like even with the Almighty Force program, like my son, he do like a mentoring program, and then I saw that like with Game Over, you do like showing them like business,
right? Well, we
showing them we do basketball and business,
right? Well, we do programs called Buckets so we do Buckets and Bites. That's an hour of basketball, but at least 45 minutes of learning computer language and computer coding. Buckets and Biz, where we teach entrepreneurship and business in general. Buckets and Bots, where we do robotics and things like that, because I learned that thought process, our kids are brilliant. Yeah, our kids are brilliant. And the last thing I'll say is, one time I was standing outside a park in Co-op City. We had 200 kids out there playing basketball at our camp. And I said, you know, the cure to cancer is right out there. Our kids are brilliant, but we got to focus in on layups and jump shots. I'm not saying don't do that, but you can be a bad doctor, a bad lawyer, and use these brilliant minds and these strategies that you learn in sports and to be able to apply it to make some real changes in everything, not just in society, but in medicine and everything else. But we as the adults have to push that.
Right. That was cool.
Definitely. For the young people, boys and girls, young men and women, you have to diversify what you do. So if you into sports, trust me, people giving you a scholarship for a reason. So a lot of people my age still paying on student loans, which is crazy. So I never paid a student loan in my life, and right through a master's degree. And it's not because I had some trick way out of it. No, had a little jump shot, could jump a little bit, could rebound a little bit, and they paid for that. So take full advantage of all your opportunities and the resources that are around you.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Ice, you want to give points?
Main thing for the kids today, we play all these sports and we teach them team aspects. They gotta understand everything in life is a team. Us as people, we should all work together. Everybody has different skill sets, different gifts. And if you would just put them all together, everybody would be in a much better place. It ain't you have to be better than him or him. Everybody's different. Everybody got a skill set. But what you should take from these sports is when you work together as one, that's how you become successful. And that's the main thing we as people need to do more often.
All right. Hey, George.
Me, I'm kind of old school. I kind of agree with what Lamb was saying earlier. There was times like we didn't like each other, but we respected each other. When the game was over, yo, what's good? You know, what we going to do after the game? You, Ra, you know, you and I, we old school. I'm from the day, you know, just like in football, we were taught mental toughness. I think Corey and Lamb's like that last generation where everything has changed because a lot of these young people feel entitled, like they're supposed to get this. You know,
that's a whole nother show.
So okay, like in a football sense, I come from a day where you came across the middle of the field, you got dealt with, and the defensive back would tell you tell your quarterback to throw you an out route. You come in the middle of the field, you gonna get dealt with. Same thing in basketball. You go down the middle of the floor, you gonna get hit. Nobody trying to hurt you, but I gotta send a message to let you know it's not gonna be that easy. But now these kids, you touch them, what you hit me for? And I'm like, where's the mentality? You know, we try to teach that to them and they don't want to hear that. And I think the AAU has messed it up a little bit. These parents think that some of their kids is like the next Anthony Edwards or somebody, you know. I don't use Anthony Edwards because of the younger generation.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know, we come from the days of watching how the Pistons play. We came from the days of watching Chamberlain, you know, knocking guys on the floor. You ain't supposed to be there. You can't do that now.
Okay. Andre.
Big East.
Yeah.
Big East.
Yeah, said they're high sleep. 100. Like, all right. Okay, man. Yo, thanks y'all, man. You know, thank y'all for coming on. You know, like I said earlier, been trying to get y'all on since me, Kev, and Shy started doing it in August. We was trying to get y'all to get up in here. You know, we got Eric to come, and we ain't got Howie to come. You know, and then Lamb, we couldn't make it that night, but I'm glad that y'all came. You know, we're gonna have to come. We definitely bringing the Brew crew back. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of the guys ain't even here. The main guys.
Yeah, like guys like Don. Shout out to Don Pugh. Shout out to his cousin Bobby, right?
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Hand. Shout out to Smooth. You know, shout out to Big Silk. You know, yeah. So we definitely going to do it again, man.
But just to let you know, in the summer, Don has started throwing the barbecue at his house for all the fellas. So when he let me know, you know, I spoke to him earlier today. When he let me know, I'll get back to y'all and let y'all know.
Okay, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Shout out to D Hall. You know, we ain't mentioned.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah, I mentioned D Hall. Shout out to D Hall, man. I appreciate you, man. You know, I was talking to D Hall about getting Ed and all of them to come up here too. We gonna touch base about getting the cream stars, right? We gonna keep this going. We gonna keep this going
every time.
we gonna keep this going, and you always welcome. You know, you send in the guest host seat. You know what I'm saying? You know, my guest host tonight, high seat. All right.
And he say he look good too. He say he look good on TV.
Nah, man, but like I said, I appreciate y'all for coming, man. You know, thanks. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. You know, no much love, no much respect. You know, every Thursday night, 8 o'clock. You know, check us out. All right, peace. Shout out J1. Hit it again.
Get it.
Want to thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all. Tune in again. Like Steels be saying, tell a friend to tell a friend to tune in to the Legend Edition. I'm singing for playing most supreme right here. 6 feet still can beat the whole damn dream team. With power, I devour any man in my way. Crown Prince of all things.
Randy works. Okay, so y'all know Randy works at Motor Vehicle on Rockaway. So if you ever got to go in there, and if you have his number, you ain't never got to stand online. If you see him at the window, just walk right up there.